As young athletes of all sports take to the field this fall, they'll no doubt be decked out in protective gear, from helmets to pads to shin guards. But a lot of kids are going to head out there without the most important piece of safety equipment there is, and perhaps the simplest one of all. It is the mouth guard. We're pleased to be joined again this morning by Dr. Doyle Williams. He's the Chief Dental Officer of Delta Dental of Massachusetts, and he's brought some samples along with us this morning. We'll get to that. But Dr. Williams, it is mandatory in youth football, for example, and I think in field hockey and maybe some other sports, that they have the mouth guard. But there are some sports where it's not really mandatory at all. Would you like to see all sports make mouth guards mandatory, regardless of contact, other things of that nature?
That would be terrific. You know, as I'm asked about this and think about it, you think the classic non-contact sports are golf and chess, of course, swimming, unless you're playing with the Three Stooges or my friend Eddie, and they turn golf into a contact
Sure,
sport.
it can be.
But other than that, you know, we fall down doing nothing. You know, so you can always fall down and break a
like
tooth.
Soccer and basketball, I've seen kids with them, and a lot of times folks will say, well, you don't really need it for that, but you do. What are some of the mouth-related injuries kids are susceptible to without having those mouth guards?
And it's great you bring up basketball. 15 times more likely to have a facial accident within basketball than you are even in football.
Right, flying elbow, you never know, right?
Exactly. So the teeth get broken, the teeth get knocked completely out, and the more severe ones that we're going to talk about with the concussions, but when those teeth are driven together, we actually break multiple teeth.
Yeah, I played basketball in high school. A kid came up underneath me, tipped all these teeth here. Didn't have a mouth guard, and sure wish I did at this point in time. So, you know, if you don't think it happens in basketball, it does. Let's talk about the concussion aspect before we show different types of mouth guards here, because the mouth guard can be crucial in terms of preventing a concussion. How is that?
So that is a terrific question. So I always think of the shaken baby syndrome that everybody can relate to, and how the brain gets jarred from the skull and the problems it creates. Well, the concussion, just chewing pressure can be about 200 pounds per square inch. So when you get a blow to the mouth, it can be about 400 pounds per square inch. That's like me standing on somebody's tooth. And so you can imagine the blow and the concussion of driving the jaw, and the condyles fit right up into the skull. It just jars the whole skull mechanism.
So then the mouth guard acts kind of as a shock absorber or something to that effect.
That's exactly what it is a shock absorber.
Let's talk about the different kind of mouth guards that are out there, because as parents know, there are all kinds of them. Sometimes if you're in a sport like football, the league will provide them. They may not be the best ones, but there are a variety of them out there. What should you look for in a good mouth guard?
Terrific. So the first one we're going to show is just the classic, the one that everybody gets, that is not very effective. It doesn't custom fit to the mouth, and I usually see the football players chewing on these rather than wearing them over their teeth. Girls are less likely, are young women athletes, less likely to wear a mouth guard than the boys are. So they've got nice colors that might appeal to young women, but either of these for boys or girls.
That's interesting. I find that to be very interesting, that the girls are less likely to wear them than the boys.
A little less.
Because they, soccer, field hockey, lacrosse, you name it, you got to have them.
You've got to have them. And these are the typical ones that we're all familiar with, that you boil in water, they become soft, we bite right into them, so they custom fit to our teeth.
Now, if you want to kick it up a notch, you can actually have them custom made for you, which in terms of safety is probably the best way to go, but also be a little more pricey.
That's exactly right. And so if you go to your dentist, they will take an impression of your teeth, and so you have a model such as this, and then they will custom form a mouth guard that fits exactly, see how hard it is to get off even the model. Custom form one that's on, and it comes in various thicknesses for the type of sport. So this might be for ice skating, it's very thin.
And also, I'm wondering, because some of these are a little thicker and it affects the breathing, that seems like it would form fitting that would help you with the breathing, so you don't have, be less difficulty breathing through your mouth if that's the case, you're trying to catch your breath, with one of these form-fitted ones as opposed to the one you fit and form yourself.
Exactly right. So even if you custom form them to the upper and lower, you have no restriction of breathing. Whereas this mouth guard that fits for most football players top and bottom, they're breathing channels built into it so that they can try and breathe.
So the bottom line here, no matter the sport, no matter the age of your kid, make sure they get the mouth guard working.
Please do.
You'll be glad you did. Dr. Doyle Williams, as always, we appreciate it. Thank you so much, sir. Great to see you.